Welcome back. So, thank you once again for loving yourself, and thank yourself for loving yourself and taking the time to even listen to this and hear a perspective, okay, or some research that has been found. And I'm reading this with you guys at the same time. So, excuse for the words that I don't know and stuff like that. We're often told that salt, Medical Medium, Cleanse to Heal by Anthony William. Excessive salt. These are troublemaker foods. Excessive. This is the excessive troublemaker foods. We're often told that salt is healthy to have in our diet, as long as it's in high quality forms such as sea salt or Himalayan. Therefore, we should be fine to use as much as we'd like because they're nutritious, high mineral salts. I've been told that. While it's true that these are nutritious salts that are higher in minerals, these standalone salts still prevent the body from cleansing. They don't contain the life force that, for example, the mineral salt in celery juice does. The salt that's in celery juice is a subgroup of sodium called sodium cluster salts that's suspended in hydrobioactive water. One of the sodium cluster salts' many jobs is to bind onto toxins and draw them out of your body. Another is to destroy pathogens. This special sodium, which you can read more about in my book, Celery Juice, is part of why millions around the world are healing with celery juice. What a coincidence. Regular salts, including sea salt in Himalayan, I have the Himalayan, and any other salts considered nutritious, are not detoxifiers. When we consume them, they dehydrate us by moving water away from the places where we need it in our body and redirecting that water to areas in our body where we don't need it. This can slowly pickle our organs in just the way salt is used to preserve foods. It can also cause swelling, and people already have enough inflammation, swelling, water retention, and unwanted weight gain. Salt only makes these symptoms worse. Fluid retention is the last thing you want when detoxifying and cleansing. Now, a small pinch of high-quality sea salt or Himalayan salt added to a recipe you made at home is not the most concerning factor. It's the sodium in restaurant meals, prepared foods, packaged foods, and maybe even in our friends' and family's home cooking that we need to watch when cleansing. Okay? Even high-end packaged snacks like dehydrated crackers made by a very well-meaning, sustainable company and advertised with a long list of bullet points describing how good they are for you can be too high in salt. Salt to taste. I was told this when I first went to a nutritionist. Let's see what he says. Is a phrase that's thrown around a lot. Everyone has free will to toss as much salt as they want to in a dish, often reaching for the salt shaker to sprinkle more salt on top of the food that was already made with salt, perhaps from packaged ingredients such as sauce that already contained salt too. Oh my God, there's salt everywhere! It means that most of us have acclimated to high levels of salt, more than the body can handle healthily, especially during a cleanse. In the amounts we're subjected into everyday life, at the levels used to make consumers happy, salt dehydrates us. I concur. I literally only eat at home, so just eat at home, huh? If you can. With COVID and all that, I definitely have that ability to work from home. Again, The last thing you want while trying to cleanse is to retain fluid at the same time you're chronically dehydrated. Salt preserves toxins and poisons inside the body. It holds on to them and concentrates them into our organ tissues, pushing critically needed water away from organs and making us more dehydrated at the same time that water pools and gets retained in areas that aren't helpful. When we're dehydrated, it's nearly impossible to cleanse. As it is, most people have already been chronically dehydrated on a daily basis for years. Further, salt disrupts the body's immune system by removing water from our natural killer cells, interfering with their ability to seek out and destroy pathogens. Again, we're talking about salt that we add to food here. That's different from the sodium subgroup in celery juice that helps us cleanse and detox and fight pathogens. It's also different from the salt found in Atlantic sea vegetables, that is, edible seaweed, such as dulse and kelp, D-U-L-S-E, and kelp. A sea vegetable is different from dehydrated ocean water, sea salt, because the sea vegetable contains a naturally controlled amount of salt from the ocean that's both inside the vegetable material and also, when dry, on its surface. Sea vegetables benefit us because they grab onto and eliminate toxic heavy metals and radiation from our bodies, and because of their salt limit, they don't contain enough sea salt to interfere with this process. I actually ate a lot of seaweed while I was healing my body and cleansing my body before I found this book, and I had a doctor helping me. So there's a distinction between table salt, even the highest end table salt, and naturally occurring sodium found in healing foods. Sprinkling dulce on a salad is so much different from having salt in your food multiple times every single day. A piece of seaweed cannot be compared to how much salt is on one slice of pizza alone, which I've been eating kind of lately. Between the salted, which is amazing because I used to not be able to eat it. I remember diarrhea right after I ate it. Between this and pains in my stomach. Amazing. Between the salted cheese and the sauce and the crust, not to mention the toppings, pizza is a salt bonanza. And that's not salt. And that's not salt that's doing any healing work the way the sodium in the celery juice or sea vegetables is. That's why it is a good idea to take a break from added salt when you're trying to cleanse. Look out for salt in seasonings and be cautious in restaurants, asking for food prepared without salt. When you're taking such care to heal, there's no reason to undermine it by continuing to pile on the salt. And that is the end of level 1 troublemaker foods. On to level 2.